In today's Sharp Saturday video, we're going to take a look at another Tomahawk from Cold Steel, this one by viewer request. The Cold Steel Rifleman's Hawk, complete with their annoying stickers. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for another Sharp Saturday video where it's Saturday and we take a look at something sharp. And as I said today, that something sharp is this Cold Steel Rifleman's Hawk. This is the largest of the Cold Steel Hawks that we've looked at so far on the channel, and this was by viewer request. And we're going to take a look at this, give you some close-ups, get to doing some of that Tomahawk stuff, and we'll probably even it's not probably, for sure we're going to check it out on the balance, orientation, and rotation device. So without any further ado, here's a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at XS Sights, the fastest sight in any light. I've been using XS Sights for a lot of years, and it's really cool to have them as a channel sponsor. XS Sights are made in the USA in the great state of Texas, and you can save 15% on your order at their website by using the coupon code SOP15. Okay, now without any more further ado, let's get down to the old stump top and get to doing some of that Tomahawk stuff. You want to? As I said, this is the largest of the Tomahawks we've taken a look at. So I'm going to tell you the specs of this one. This has a 1 pound, 10 ounce head only. The total weight of this Tomahawk is 36.5 ounces. So we got 26 ounces of head only and 36.5 ounces overall. Features a 3.5 inch cutting edge, a 22 inch American hickory handle, and a hexagonal hammer pole. MSRP on this thing is $47, and on Amazon right now it is $35. This thing has a little hex head lock nut in here. A lot of people say take those off because it can split the handle. I like the fact that it's a Tomahawk, so you can take that out and you can just friction fit it. And then I said this is a Sharp Saturday. Man, it's a sticker. However, and I always like to check the factory edges. This Tomahawk, this particular one, has the worst factory edge of any Cold Steel Tomahawk I've seen. It literally has almost a 1/16 of an inch of flat on it. So they just did not get their grind to come together here. So we'll see how well it chops. I'm not even going to attempt the redneck sharp test on this one because I know it's not going to cut. So we'll see how well it chops, and then we'll see how well balanced it is. Now, admittedly, certainly, you could go ahead and put a better edge on it. But another thing I've really noticed here, I don't know if maybe it's just a finish. I'll try to zoom in on this, but there's a line of, it's almost like, I don't know, crack, just like the paint or finish is chipped off here or something. Or I don't know if it's a heat treat thing or what, but on both sides, about 3/4 of an inch back from the very end of it, edge of it, it's got this crazy little, I don't know, like extra coat of paint. This is the fit and finish, and the finish on this one is the worst of any I've seen so far. I haven't noticed that on any other Tomahawks. Certainly this edge is absolutely the worst. We'll just see. I've got my chopping test block here. We'll see how well this thing does. Again, this is reasonably heavy, almost a 2 pound head, and let's just see what happens here. Got my chopping block moving around, my testing medium. Need to find a better medium, but let's just see if I can enlarge this corner here. Not really chopping in super great, and I think that edge is just not biting. So it's like this video is going to be a little shorter than I might have imagined, but we got to check this thing out on the old balance orientation and rotation device, which apparently needs a little bit of renewal there. So without any further ado, let's do that. You want to? Okay, so as far as practically speaking, I think this Tomahawk has a couple of drawbacks. First of all, from the factory, the edge on this particular one at least sucks. I don't know a better way to put it than that. And I know a lot of people always comment that, yeah, anybody knows you need to refine the edge on any axe or tomahawk you get. And I get that, but I like to test them, as I've said before, where they come from the factory. And then just as far as, even if this thing had a great cutting edge on it, which it doesn't, to be clear right now, the reason I like tomahawks is because they're lightweight and nimble, and they're very easy to carry. With this one coming in at 1 pound 10 ounces just for the head, and around 2 pounds or so for the whole thing, is not quite light and nimble, at least as light and nimble as some tomahawks. So that's going to be a little more fatiguing when you're using it, and it just doesn't have quite the speed when you're chopping and whatnot. It's a little hard. It makes you work a little harder. I'll put it that way. That could have its benefits depending on what you're trying to do, but for me, I think this one's a little heavier than I would like to see in a tomahawk. That being said, that might have extremely positive effects downrange when you're if you're throwing this thing. Speaking of that, as you know, here at Survival on Purpose, we maintain a state-of-the-art cutting-edge testing facility for bladed implements. And one of the tests we always like to do on especially tomahawks is to test the aerodynamic balance using our balance, orientation, and rotation device. So we're going to do that. Oh, but first, by the way, if you're looking back here, if you're one of the people who have been really concerned about the deplorable state of affairs of the landscaping in my worldwide headquarters here, I have embarked upon a, we'll just call it a mitigation process that is taking place. So that's why everything looks a little wilted back there, and more on that later. But let's get to the science. So scientific method is important when you're doing science. Whoop, 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 whoop. I don't know how that happened. So what happened there was it actually hit handle first, and the friction fit on the handle because the lock nut wasn't very tight, slid down, and this part stuck in like that. Let's see if I can get the rotation right on it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Again. So I'm hitting blade on, it's not sticking. And I think if it were really sharp, it might, but let's see. By golly, that one's stuck. So generally, if you can get it to hit here, it'll stick. It should be sticking here though, but that one did. Okay, one more time, just for the science. We're going to call this one balanced. When Chuck Norris went down to the crossroads, the devil sold his soul. Okay, well, that one stuck. By the way, as I said, this is the heaviest of the cold steel tomahawks we've looked at, and I got this because somebody requested this. So we're going to do a kind of a comparison between all these cold steel tomahawks that I have in another video, and we'll just give them all a fair shake and see which ones actually shake out the best. But this one so far actually is my least favorite of the cold steel tomahawks I've tested. So that's the cold steel Rifleman's Hawk, and I really sincerely appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.